August is around the corner, so let's talk about the energies of August. What's swirling around you in the collective field, in the nature cycle? So, what's influencing your system energetically right now? My name is Annie, and in my community, it's all about not just finding your soul's purpose, but living it. And as we are souls having a human experience, which means we are exposed to earthly and human influences, and that can make life feel pretty intense sometimes. To make it more easy for you and also feed the collective field with counter energies, I share a monthly energetic update here on my channel to help you navigate life on Earth with a bit more ease and clarity. We'll take a look at what's happening in the collective field and in the natural rhythm of the seasons. And at the end of this video, I'll guide you through a ritual for August and share an affirmation to support your energetic alignment throughout the whole month. So let's take a look at what energies August is bringing to the table. And there is happening a lot in the collective field this August. Even though it's technically a summer break in many parts of the world feels loud. On top of that, we're dealing with extreme weather patterns in many parts of the world, and many people feel exhausted. From a seasonal perspective, we've reached a turning point. Summer is at its peak, and with the ancient harvest festival of Lammas, we enter a phase of slowing down. It's no longer about planting more. It's time to harvest. It's time to receive, and it's time to choose, to make a new choice. So let's start with the energies in the collective field. And if that's a new term for you, I'm talking about the emotional and energetic currents that are created by political, economic, and social developments. When large groups of people are impacted by something, it generates collective energy. And even if you're not directly involved, these energies can affect you through other people, the media, conversations, or social feeds. So let's begin with something that is affecting millions of people right now: financial instability and global consumer pressure. Across the world, people are feeling the weight of high living costs. In many countries, prices for food, rent, and basic necessities continue to rise and rise. New trade tensions between the US, the EU, Brazil, and China add uncertainty to already fragile economies. For many, this is more than a news headline. It's like a daily experience of pressure, of trying to make ends meet, to stay afloat, to not fall behind. Even if you're not directly affected, this energy might still be present in your field through social media, through news, through conversations, and through the collective nervous system. It shows up as a feeling of not enough, of tightening, of comparing, of silently wondering if you're failing because you can't maintain the lifestyle you used to. So, what energies are moving through the collective field? First, there is a strong energy of scarcity, the sense that there's not enough, that everything has to be calculated, weighed, postponed. This creates a low-grade tension in the body and in the collective field that's hard to name but easy to feel. And then comes existential anxiety. Not always loud or dramatic, but like sneaky, like subtle. It shows up in sleepless nights, the urge to control everything, or a tight chest when making a financial decision. There's also a frequency of comparison. Who can still afford what? Who's traveling, buying, expanding, and who can't? This dynamic creates like a quiet shame, a sense of failure for so many people, even if it's not rational. And finally, there's the collective guilt, especially among those who are conscious, who live with intention. The feeling can arise that I'm still part of the system, yeah? That perhaps we should be doing more, consuming less, giving more. This guilt can turn into like an inner pressure and complete withdrawal. So, what can you do to protect your energy or help clear the field? First of all, ground yourself like every single day in August. This isn't just a mental pattern. Financial fear lives in the nervous system. You can walk barefoot, or you eat slowly, you touch or hug a tree, drink a warm tea, get back into your body. Remind your system right now, I'm self. Activate inner abundance. Write 3 things down every evening that nourished you today, emotionally, physically, spiritually. It could be a smile, a conversation, a moment of silence, a cup of tea. These small acts shift your frequency from lack to gratitude, and that changes everything, not only in your life. You can start consuming with clarity, not out of guilt, but from conscious alignment. This month, August, you might choose to buy secondhand, visit a thrift store, eat more home cooked meals, or support local businesses. Each intentional yes empowers your nervous system and your field, and it releases this guilty. You are not responsible for the global economy, but your personal choices matter. By choosing presence and care and balance in your own life, you ripple something healing into the collective. If you're feeling completely overwhelmed, here's a little ritual for you. Place both hands on your heart. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say quiet or aloud, I am safe. I'm supported. I'm enough. You can repeat that until your body feels soft. Let's talk about something that's moving even faster than most of us can follow: the rise of artificial intelligence. Over the past month, especially after international AI summits and new political debates, conversations around ethics, identity, and the role of technology have intensified. What once felt like a science fiction is now part of our daily life, from AI-generated texts and images to deepfakes, artificial voices, and automated decision-making. And while all of this promises efficiency, many people are starting to feel an inner tension, a sense of disorientation, of not really knowing what's real anymore. Even if you don't use these technologies directly, the energetic impact is present. It's in the content you consume, the way conversations shift, and in the collective nervous system again. One of the strongest energy right now here is mistrust. Yeah. People are unsure what's authentic. By the way, I'm authentic. Whether a message was written by a person, whether a photo was manipulated, this kind of mistrust doesn't just affect how you see media, it slowly creates distance between us. So between us, the world around us, other people. What's another energy that's increasingly noticeable is exhaustion. Yeah, with that. Our brains are overstimulated. The speed of innovation, the constant flow of new tools, updates, and opinions, it's stressful. Yeah, people feel drained, but they just do not know why. They know that their capacity is lower than usual. And what comes with that is also the sense of losing control. Decisions about AI are being made at a high level, but many feel disconnected from those decisions. It's unclear what's allowed, what's regulated, or how to navigate through this whole new landscape. That uncertainty leads to insecurity and many times even apathy. So finally, this brings up deeper identity questions. If machines can write and speak and create, what makes me human? What's still mine? And for some, these thoughts are in the background. For others, they're loud and unsettling. In either case, they are present in the collective energy, especially in August. So how can you stay grounded when all of this is happening? First, be mindful of your media habits. You don't need to keep up with everything. Yeah. Reduce this noise. Choose your inputs with intention and ask yourself regularly, do I feel more connected or more confused after this content? Connect to your body. The nervous system needs time to reset. Walk, breathe, stretch, spend time offline, even just 10 minutes to reconnect with your physical present, rebuild trust in your own inner voice. In a time of digital overwhelm, your intuition matters more than ever. So create small windows during the day to check in with yourself. No phone, no input, just space, what feels true to you. And finally, always come back to nature. Yeah. Go outside, touch something real. The natural world reminds us that we are living beings, not just users of technology. It slows us down. It brings us back into balance. If the confusion feels too strong, you can place your hands on your heart, one on your heart, one on your belly. Take a few deep breaths and remind yourself, I'm here, I'm real, and I trust myself. This is not about fighting technology, it's about staying human in the whole process. These energies, they lead to another bundle of energies that are shaping the emotional tone of entire societies right now. That is digital disinformation and growing division across the globe. More and more people are struggling to trust what they see, what they read, what they hear. There's so much fake news, deep fakes, biased reporting. Social media echo chambers are creating confusion and polarization. We no longer just disagree on opinions. We often operate from entirely different versions of truth. This isn't just a political issue, it's an energetic one. It shapes how people relate, connect, and move through the world. Even if you try to stay out of political or social debates, you're likely still absorbing these frequency through headlines and group chats, online conversations, and even the emotional atmosphere around you. So, what energies are moving through the field? One of the strongest, unfortunately, is division, the us versus them mindset. It's growing louder. People are quicker to take sides, they're slower to listen anymore. And this separation energy creates tension, not just in debates, but in families, in workplaces, in friend groups, in communities. There's also a collective overstimulation with constant breaking news, social media alerts, and all this emotional content. The nervous system does not get a break anymore. Many people feel emotionally fried without knowing why. They're just exhausted by the noise. Another big one is outrage. Whether it's subtle frustration or full-blown anger, the frequency of emotional reactivity is very high. This wears people down and makes true connection between them harder. And underlying of all of it is the frequency of mistrust. Mistrust in governments, mistrust in institutions, media, and often in each other. And mistrust feels isolated and defensive, even if you're not consciously realize it. So what can you do to protect your own field and bring healing into the collective field? Be intentional with your information intake. You don't need to read every headline or stay in every debate. Choose sources you trust and take breaks. Ask yourself, does this connect me to truth or disconnect me from myself? Practice radical self-responsibility for your behavior. Before reposting or reacting or debating, check in. Is this coming from fear, from ego, or is this coming from clarity? When you respond consciously, you shift the energy in your own body and in the collective. Thank you for that. So prioritize connection over opinion. It is totally okay to have boundaries. It's okay to disagree, but remember, real transformation rarely happens through arguments. It happens through presence, to compassion, to human connection. If you feel overwhelmed by the emotional noise, pause. Try this grounding. Place your hand on your chest, one on your belly, and breathe deeply. Say to yourself, I choose presence. I choose presence. I choose clarity. I choose connection. And then let your system soften. Let your mind return to center. You don't have to fix the world, but you can choose to stay aligned within it. And that changes everything. And finally, what's happening in the collective field is also connected to AI and technologies. It's about cyber threats. In recent months, there has been a global surge in cyber attacks. Critical infrastructures like hospitals and schools and government platforms are being targeted. Many of these attacks are happening in developing countries where systems are more vulnerable. But no one is completely untouched by that. The threat is not just technical, it's energetic. Even if you haven't been hacked or affected directly, this instability is in the field. It shows up in glitches, outages, payment delays, data breaches, or the vague feeling that your digital world isn't quite safe. So, what energies are moving through the collective field? It starts with an underlying fear. It's a quiet, ongoing anxiety that something might suddenly stop working. Your phone, your bank, your access to basic services. This what if fear lingers beneath the surface, and there's a sense of like daily instability. When the digital systems we rely on feel shaky, it affects our nervous system, whether it's electricity, access to money, or online workspaces. When these falter, our sense of control does too. There is a growing lack of trust in systems. People are starting to question, is anything secure anymore? And that doubt ripples into the energy field. especially shared collectively through news, social media, and conversations. And finally, there's a subtle control panic, the feeling that everything collapses if one small thing goes wrong. This triggers a desire for micromanage, or check everything repeatedly, which adds to exhaustion and digital burnout. So, what can you do to protect your energy and restore a sense of internal safety, or give counter energies to the field? Start with your energetic structure. In times of digital chaos, your own rhythm becomes your anchor. Simple routines like waking and sleeping at the same time, doing a daily grounding practice, or limiting screen time in the evening can restore your inner coherence. Create digital mindfulness. Clean your inbox, delete apps you don't use, update your passwords, not out of fear, but as an act of conscious clarity. Decluttering your digital space calms your system way more than you might think. Strengthen your inner system. Instead of relying on outer stability, build trust in your own capacity. Keep a physical backup of important information. Practice breathing exercises to reset your nervous system. Yeah? Choose technologies and platforms that feel aligned with you and safe. You don't have to use everything. When this noise gets too loud or you feel exposed, try the simple energetic ritual. You can stand, you can sit, but be a little bit in stillness. And then imagine a field of light surrounding your devices, your home, your energy. And say out loud, I am protected. I am guided. My energy is sovereign. Safety isn't always external. It often begins within yourself. So that what was happening, an overview over the collective energies in the field. Let's see what the nature cycle of the year tells you. August is traditionally associated with Lammas, the festival of the first harvest. It's a moment in the year where we invited to pause and to reflect where have I put my time and energy over the last past months, what have I tried to grow and what has actually taken root. Maybe you've been investing in something like a project or a relationship, your health, your business. Now is a good time to look honestly at the results. What has worked? What hasn't? Not everything will have grown, and that's okay. Some seeds didn't get the care they needed. Some were impacted by outside conditions, and some may not have been right for you to begin with. This reflection isn't about judgment, it's about becoming aware. You can ask yourself, what am I holding in my hands as a result of my time and energy? What feels solid and nourishing, aligned? And what is no longer needed in my life? It's a time also to appreciate what has worked. Even small changes matter, like maybe you've set clearer boundaries. Maybe you've built a new habit. Maybe you've gained clarity in a relationship or you learned to say no. That's what harvest means. Not just achievements in the outside world, but also the growth and how you show up for yourself. What fits your life right now? What can go? And what do you want to plant again with more intention, maybe this time? I've brought you a simple yet powerful ritual for this time of the year. It's called Sacred Harvest. You will need a sheet of paper, a pen, a bowl of water, and a candle, and 10 minutes of uninterrupted time. If you want to, you can breathe a few times deeply and come into the now. Then draw a horizontal line across your page from left to right. At the top, you write seeds that bore fruit. And at the bottom, you give a title, Seeds That Didn't Grow. Take your time and fill out both sections. Start at the top. What have you harvested this year? Think of everything you put your energy into. Projects, relationships, your health, your work, your sense of freedom. Also consider inner growth, clarity, boundaries, new habits, maybe difficult decisions you had to make. And then move to the bottom half. What didn't grow, even though you tried? Where did your energy go without visible results? What feels empty or stagnant? What no longer serves you? Once you've written everything down, read both parts out loud or silently. Acknowledge both sides. Growth and non-growth are part of the same cycle. And to close the ritual, light your candle, place it beside the bowl of water. Hold the paper over the bowl and say quietly or aloud, I honor what has been. I give thanks for what have grown. I release what no longer belongs to me. If it feels right, you can now tear or burn your paper. And maybe you can already feel it. August is around the corner, but it's a month of rich harvest, inward, outward energies. So to stay energetically aligned, choose consciously, moment by moment. Clarity, not rushing. Grounding, not overwhelm. Gratitude instead of constant self-criticism. August offers you a choice, a reflection, a harvest, a moment to redecide your path forward. And here comes my protective affirmation for your energy this month. I honor my steps. I harvest with open eyes. I let go of what no longer belongs to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Thank you for your being, for all that you are and all that you do. Our love changes the world when each of us cares for ourselves and then we walk together. I send you love from soul to soul from Canada. Here's Annie.